Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video. It is going to be my fourth update in the deck of panning project pan that was created by one of my absolute favorites, Emily from Emily and Max. So I will have her channel linked down below, as well as introduction and all other information pertaining to this project. But it is a game style project and we select prompts based off of a deck of cards. I am currently working on 5 separate products and I'm excited because we do have 3 rollouts in today's video. So if you're excited, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, that is what we do over on this channel, so I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment down below, or do anything else the YouTube algorithm loves for you to do. I would really appreciate it, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, we're gonna start with the 2 products that are not rolling out, and we're gonna start with this one, which has been in the longest. I believe this has been in since the introduction. This is my iconic London lip plumping lip gloss in the shade Love Struck, and I rolled this in for the prompt a mainstream product. I worked on this for so many months last year trying to project pan this. Basically all of my line markings have kind of worn off, but I really am just down to whatever is left, like coating the walls. It does seem like there's quite a bit of product coating the walls, but I've really worked so hard on this. I do have this topped over a lip gloss, not a lip gloss. I have this topped over top a lipstick today. And I will say this is not something I personally would repurchase, but I definitely have grown more of a fondness for it, using it so consistently than when I first started using it. It definitely has kind of that minty sensation a lip plumping gloss does, but it's nothing painful. I just don't love the applicator of this. It's kind of like taller and it's just really bendy, and it doesn't offer like a ton of control. In terms of the shade, I really like this, but just not a favorite. I really like it, but it's not a favorite, so I'm not going to be repurchasing it. I will be so excited when this is finally done. I did tell myself I need to finish off 5 lip products before I can buy another lip product, just because I brought so many lip products into my life the last year, well, basically forever. And on my birthday, I almost went in store to buy another one of the Makeup Forever and Juicy glosses, but I withheld. I was like, no girl, you made a promise to yourself you're gonna finish 5 lip products. I have finished 1, so we still have 4 more to go. I'm hoping that this will be one of the empty ones. Nevertheless, my goal within this project is to complete that, so we're still working on it. And then the other product that will not be rolling out is my Adept Plain Jane Remastered palette, and I rolled this in for the prompt No Pan Left Behind. This is what this palette looks like. This palette I feel like is maybe one of the more neglected palettes in my collection, simply because it is truly just a companion palette, because it is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, a 12 pan companion palette. I do actually have 2 shades from here on my eyes today. I have AC12 on the outer third of my lid, and then I have AC17 on the very inner part of my lid, not the inner corner, but like the inner part of my lid. And then I also used the Natasha Denona mini nude palette to create what I have on my lids today. I have not yet finished this. Obviously we're not rolling it out. I have used 2, 4, 6. I've used 6. We're halfway through the palette. I've used 6 out of the 12 shades. So I have used these 2 shades right here, and then I've also used this shade right here, and then on the bottom row I have used these 2 shades right here, as well as this shade right here. So we've got kind of a lot of pinks and purples left to use in order to finish this up. I do feel like maybe the summer would be a good time for like fun pinks and purples. These are more like warm colors rather than like grungy purples, so I'm hoping by the next update I will be able to roll this out, but as of right now I've only used half of the shadows within that palette. That brings us to the 3 products we will be rolling out. So up first I have the lipstick that I have under the lip gloss today, and this is my What's Up Beauty lipstick. This is in the shade Seba, and I have really enjoyed using this. I am not much of a lipstick girly. I definitely like a gloss. I've been getting into like a lip liner and a lip gloss, or honestly even like a lip stain. Lipstick is like my least favorite of all the lip products, but I rolled this in for the prompt indie. I don't know why I'm showing it like that. And I gave myself a 10 use goal. I was at 4 out of the 10 uses last update, and I have officially reached for this 6 additional times. So we are at 10 uses. I honestly was kind of worried, but right after filming my last update for this, I was reaching for this a lot. And then the last couple of days I've reached for it 2 additional times to get me to the 6 total that I needed. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. This is like my perfect nude lipstick shade, and I'm honestly hoping I continue to reach for this even putting it away. I'm really glad that I decided to roll this into the project, because I feel like I've reached for it now this year than I would have the entirety of the year had I not rolled this into a project, just because again, I don't reach for lipsticks that much. And it reminded me how much I really like this formula. It is considered a matte formula, but I do feel like it's more of like a satin. It's definitely really comfortable on the lips, and like I said, I really like the shade. So this one is rolling out. Then I have my Dior highlighting palette, which I rolled in for the prompt Out of Your Hands, and my daughter actually selected this product for me to work on in this project. And we decided on a goal of reaching for every single shade within this quad at least 5 total times. It didn't have to be like I only used this shade on its own. I could mix the shades. As of the last update, I had reached for this 6 times. I reached for it an additional 8 times, putting me at 14 total uses. And I have reached for this golden shade 5 total times. This has become a quick favorite. I love this as a blush topper. I had reached for this 2 times as of the last update, and I reached for it an additional 6 times. So I'm actually at 8 uses on this, and I'm so glad that my daughter picked this to roll this in, because I was reaching for it some. This is actually a product I've decluttered in the past, and then I recluttered it into my collection, and I am so glad, because I have really enjoyed my time with this, and this is something I anticipate I will continue to reach for at least all summer, because I'm really enjoying this, like I said, as a blush topper. My favorite shade as a highlight in this palette is the pink shade down here. As of the last update, I had reached for this 3 total times. I did reach for this an additional 4 times, so I have 7 uses on this one. So exciting to see some of these got even more than the 5 total uses. And then finally, we have this really beautiful peach shade, which I think is gonna be so pretty, again, kind of throughout the summer. And I plan to continue to reach for this, but I had reached for this 2 times as of the last update, and I did reach for this an additional 3 times. So we are at 5 total uses on this. And this is a product that I will be rolling out of this project, but I am going to keep it on my vanity where I get ready, because like I said, I've really enjoyed this, and I see myself reaching for this the majority of the rest of the summer. And then the final product that is a rollout, and I'm so excited to have a makeup empty, because it has been a struggle to get makeup empties this year, but I rolled in the One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer for the Prompt Primer, and we have an empty. Before rolling this in, this was something that I was kind of unofficially trying to pan, and it just kind of worked naturally that I selected the Prompt Primer, and then I could just kind of finish this off. I want to say we were like down here when I rolled this in. I don't know if I even marked it and the marking wore off, or if I didn't mark it, but I finished this up. We have a primer empty for the year. I have a makeup empty to share in my next makeup rehab series, which makes me so excited. So this is rolling out, and this is an empty. Which brings us to the fun part of the video, where we get to roll in new products, and we get to roll in 3 products today, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depending on the prompts that we get. But I have my deck of cards. I'm going to shuffle them a few times. I do keep both of my jokers in the deck. If you don't know, the joker in this little game stands for a product that you really don't want to pan. It stands for like, are you joking? Like, are you joking? I have to pan this. So I do just keep both of mine in the deck rather than just one. That was a horrible shuffle. So I guess the odds are not necessarily in our favor, although there's only 2 out of 50. I feel like I'm jinxing it right now. Anyway, I'm going to shuffle just a few more times so you guys can see. I really have shuffled up the cards. And let's see what 3 prompts we get. All right, first card is going to be the 2 of diamonds. Second card, another diamonds. We have the 9 of diamonds. And then the third card is the 5 of hearts. No face cards at all this time. So I'm gonna pull up the game board, and I will pop it on the screen so you guys can follow along. Okay, I have the game board pulled up. So up first, we have the 2 of diamonds. So the 2 of diamonds stands for a metallic product. Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe I have one in mind. Okay, I think I have one in mind. Anyway, second card that we selected was the 9 of diamonds, and that stands for, ooh, an oldest. Okay, that's a good one, but also a scary one. And then the 5 of hearts is, oh, a concealer. Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna go grab some products and I'll be right back to share them with you. Okay, I'm back. And I'm like questioning whether or not my metallic product counts or not. I looked up the definition of metallic and it says relating to or resembling metal or metals, which like in my mind, I know like, oh, a metallic shade, but like are metallic and sparkly the same thing or not the same thing? I don't know, it's my project, so we're just gonna roll with the punches on this one. So up first, the first card that we did draw was the 2 of diamond, which is a metallic product. And for that, I am gonna roll in my KVD Dazzle Stick. This is in the shade Hail Surge, and I really love this. I'm not much of a like shadow stick sort of girl, but I feel like I've used a decent amount of this for not being a shadow stick sort of a girl. And this is a really beautiful metallic-y, sparkly sort of champagne, but it has almost like, it's almost like a rose gold champagne with a really beautiful blue and pink sparkle running throughout. On the day-to-day, like to work lately, I have been doing one shadow on my lids. It's either been a shade out of my Rowan Mood Forever quad, or it's been my oh my gosh, Phytosurgence like single shadow, the Lunar Lightwave Flash Fluorescence Cream Eyeshadow. I've just been doing one sparkly shadow on the lid, so I feel like I could get some good use out of this summer, especially when I'm wearing a lot lighter makeup. I just truly feel like I could get really good use out of this, and I should take advantage of that, especially because this is not my everyday reach necessarily for a makeup product. So I'm gonna roll this in, and I'm kind of going between 10 and 20 uses. I feel like I should just do 10 uses, seeing as I am still trying to pan my Rowan Mood Forever like in full. And I do want to keep this project like fun and interesting. And if I end up reaching for it over 10 times, like that's just bonus. So I'm gonna give myself a 10 use goal with the KVD Dazzle Stick. I honestly really hope maybe I could finish that goal by the next update. We'll see. Then we drew the 9 of diamonds, which is an oldest product. And for this, I'm gonna go with what I believe is my oldest cream blush. Unless I'm confused, I think this is my current oldest cream bronzer, sorry, cream bronzer. Clearly I am confused. In my collection, this is from NARS. It's the Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream. And first of all, I dropped mine on the ground. That's why mine looks really weird in here. But I tried to pan this last year and I just wasn't getting a lot of use out of it. But lately, I feel like I have also been wearing cream bronzer to work over powder bronzer. So again, I should take advantage of this, get some use out of products that haven't gotten a lot of love and a lot of use from my collection. And I think I will also give myself a 10 use goal with this one. I feel like that's something that I could potentially easily bust out by the next update, especially because I have been wearing cream bronzer the majority of days that I have been doing my makeup. And I'm gonna give myself a 10 use goal with this one. So that's my goal with that. And then finally, the last card that we drew was the 5 of hearts, and this stands for concealer. And this concealer was going to be the next concealer I rolled into my rolling project 10 pan, because I'm almost done with my LYS one, but I will just take the opportunity to roll it into this project. This is my Tower 28 concealer. I have this in the shade DTLA. I will say I do let my daughter use this whenever she wants to like play with the concealer. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. There is definitely windowing here, and it's so funny. She was either listening to me edit my last rolling project 10 pan or sitting with me while I filmed it, and I talked about how I was gonna project pan this, and she like looked at me and she was like, project pan the Tower 28 concealer? I thought you gave that to me. And I was like, well girlie, we share it, and regardless, like you could be the one panning it potentially. So it was just funny. But this is going to be the next concealer I rolled in. This is one of my older concealers in my collection. For me personally, this is not one that I would repurchase. Maybe my daughter would purchase this one again, but I really like the NYX Bear With Me. I think these two are quite similar, and the NYX Bear With Me actually provides a little bit more coverage and it's less expensive. So I would love to move this out of my collection, have a concealer empty for the year. My goal with this one is going to be to empty this out and complete this 100%. So I think this will be a a more challenging goal, but I feel like we have a good variety of goals, and I feel like we definitely have some things that could be a rollout next update. I do think with a little bit of effort, these two could be rollouts next update, and I am also hopeful that I could roll out my Plain Jane Remastered. So hopefully we could have 3 rollouts for next update, but that is going to wrap it up for today's update. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch. As always, I would love to know what your most recent pan or empty was. Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.